Hey YouTube! Okay, so I know a few of you want to learn how to do a balloon arch. So that is what I've put together today. I have 3 different styles that I'm going to teach you how to arrange the balloons to make them look this way. But first off, I'm going to show you how to get them on. What I use is actually called a table balloon arch kit. You can Google it on Amazon, Google stores, or maybe even eBay. But anyway, so that's all it is. It comes with everything you need, including the table clips and the poles and the attachment pieces. When I put these together, I always secure it all together, and so you end up with 4 pieces. You've got a piece here, a piece there, one there, and one there. And when I put them together, I always put either packing tape or duct tape around it. I use white duct tape with it because it matches. Packing tape is clear, so not a big deal. But that way, it just gives it that added security that the balloons pushing together aren't going to make it pop out of place and then kind of just not look like an arch. So what I've done is I've taken 5-inch balloons and inflated them 5 pumps with my hand double pump. So when you're doing this, like this one that we're doing right now is called a tight spiral, and if you're using 2 colors, it's really easy to go through it. If you're using 1 color, it's easy to go through it because it's not any kind of pattern. But when you get to where you're doing 4 colors, you want to be careful that you're paying attention to how they're going on, because you can end up with, for instance, the red and the blue mixed up, and then it's going to look kind of weird. So just make sure you're paying close attention to that. So for this one, I did a rainbow. That way it's for any gender, it doesn't matter. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 4 balloons and then I'm going to make a quad. But when I do, I'm going to make sure that my necks are really tight and I have a lot of loose space up on top, because this is the part that's going to go around the pole, and I want to make sure that it looks the same all the way around. So now you just make sure that you're lining up your colors and continuing that spiral pattern, and then you just twist them around 1 time and push them up so that they're nice and tight, and that is all there is to that. It's really, really simple. Let me see if I can do this where you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I have my opening part that's going to go on the pole. The knots are going to be on one side and all the long stretch is going to be on the other. So I'm just putting it on there, twisting them around and pushing them up. Really, really simple. Okay, so I'm actually only going to do 1 more because it doesn't look like I have room for both of them. If you pack them on really tight and you don't have a lot of room down here, instead of making it a quad, I usually just feed each duplet through 1 at a time and line up the colors. So 1 will come from the back and 1 will come from the front of the pole, and then they'll just cross over each other. So I guess I can show you what I mean by that. So for instance, on this one, I would take the blue and the red and push it around just like that. When you don't take the bottom down, but it sits right on, so not a big deal. So I just pushed them in and now they're on. If you don't want it to pop up like that while you're working on it, you can lift it to where it's about, say maybe that much from the as far down as it goes, and then just run some duct tape around it and squeeze it on there really tight so that it grips to it, and then you shouldn't have that issue with it coming off like that. With packing tape it will still do that, but I haven't had any issues with it doing it with duct tape, and I have only taped them down maybe twice. So, but that is your tight spiral. This one is a loose spiral, and so what it is instead of having one color line at a time, you actually have two, and it's done the same way. You just do two of one color, two of another. This particular one is one of 4 different colors. On the flowers, somebody had asked how to do the flower arch. So on these, what you actually have is I've done 4 of the lime green, 4 wildberry, 2 wildberry, and 2 white for these 4. 4 more wildberry, and 4 of the lime green. And then I did pink. 4 pink, 2 pink, 2 white, 4 pink. So you just alternate it. Make sure that you're getting them right where it's supposed to be, where you have 2, 1, 2, 1, and it's not turning as you're doing it, so that way it looks very clean and you don't have your flowers starting to spiral, which is also why we have these in between. If you want to have nothing like this in between, these are going to end up spiraling. That is the only reason they're staying in line with each other. So if you have any other designs that you want to learn how to do on the arches, let me know, and I can probably just type it up for you so you can see how to do it rather than making a whole new video. On this particular arch kit, I used, I think, 156 balloons total. So it takes quite a bit of, well, a little bit of time to inflate them all. They're all 5 pumps. I've done them before with 4 pumps, depending on how I wanted it to look. But these are a little bit bigger, and if you have it on the table, you can see how tall it goes, so you can lean in through it and it's not going to get in your way.